Well, you know why I look so tired? Because I'm tired. I'm really, really tired. I'm have a lot. I thought I'd clear my throat so that you could hear what it sounds like all the way down into my body, because I think I pulled that throat clearing from somewhere in the nethers. So that was, I'm glad I could do that for you. I'm going to do it again. Um, yeah, last night, awake, wide, like the kind of awake, like my eyes are open all night, and I know that I'm like this close to going to sleep. So I keep pretending I'm trying like this. And then I go, and then I roll into another position, and then I try to do the thing. When you sleep, for some reason, your eyes close. Um, I think they will do it by themselves if you're too tired to do it yourself. But I was actually doing it myself because I apparently wasn't tired enough. It was like this invisible force that was making me awake. So I was, by the way, I did take this stuff called deep sleep, which is an herbal sleep medication. I'm on a rolling chair and I'm rolling forward. That's why I'm right here. Oh, it's still rolling. So I wanted to tell you something else that's contributing to this, that I'm having a little anxiety, not excited about it. But I had a pretty significant car accident. As you can see, I survived. So we're at a starting point, which is pretty good. I like that very much. But I was driving to Los Angeles for a client meeting and to see my friends. And I was on 580 heading toward, did you hear that? I did the throat clearing thing again. So you could see down in there, but through, like, it's sort of like an auditory process that creates this visual cavern for you every time I clear my voice. So, use that as a little escape, like to go to like spelunking. Driving to LA, driving from San Francisco, got on the Bay Bridge, and it was about 11:30 or so when I left in the morning, on Monday morning. Nope. Yes, for Monday morning. November 15th, 2021. I wanted to drive down there. I could have flown. I've done that many times, just fly down for a day meeting, but I had just bought a new car. So I wanted to no, I already did that. I wanted to drive my car to LA and like have fun in my car and sort of get to know it and make sure that all my playlists are working and all that kind of stuff. And I was having a pain in the back of my, like, in my trap somewhere up here. And I thought, I should have brought my lacrosse ball, for all the lacrosse that I play. I don't know if you know that I'm a intense lacrosse player. I'm a deep hole. And sometimes we have lacrosse balls laying around, so they're good for like rolling something out, like putting it on the wall behind your shoulder and just sort of rolling. So I was thinking I should have brought that in the car with me because this thing really, really hurt. And it was like a pinched nerve kind of thing. So I was thinking it would be a good idea to stretch my head forward. See, I don't know if you can hear that, but it just cracked. Stretch my head forward and try to pull like that it felt like something was hooked in there, like a little paper clip was hooked on a nerve. And if I just pulled it forward, it would go pew, and it would all spring loose and everybody would yay. And then the village would be happy. So I did the head pull thing. And indeed something went pew, but it was sort of nervy and it made me dizzy. And, whatever, big deal. Like, I've had these pain things. It's almost like a shot of adrenaline where it sort of soars through for a second and then it disappears after a couple seconds. This one, though, didn't disappear. So I was really feeling faint, dizzy. So I thought I should get off the freeway. And the next exit was, of course, 1.5 miles away. So it doesn't sound like much, except when you're dizzy, it feels a little bit like a lifetime. So I got off the freeway finally and went down this off ramp and was going to turn right. And the next thing I know, someone I don't know, a man in a Amazon Prime vest. I didn't know they delivered directly to your car on the freeway, but so he's waking me up and saying, "Are you okay?" And I have no idea what happened. Didn't know where I was. I mean, I knew where I was. I knew that I had just gotten off the freeway and that I was feeling dizzy. So it wasn't like I was so out of it that I couldn't like track my life. But he said, "You need to get out of the car." My airbags had gone off. And I had a little bit of a bloody lip, and that was the entire extent of my injuries. So he gets me out of the car and I go and sit in this other delivery, the Prime delivery Prius. And I see my car is sitting in this median, and this is my brand new car. It is, I can't tell what happened. I have no idea what happened. I knew that I fainted or had a seizure. I also have a seizure disorder. So yeah, go ahead. Tell your friends that too. It's a great story. I've had that for many, many years. But so I've been on medication for that for, my hair looks fantastic right now. I've been on the anti-seizure medication for 30 years or so. And I haven't had a seizure in probably 15 since the kids were really little. And so I wake up, cops everywhere, fire trucks, ambulance, a ton of witnesses, which makes it sound really intense. And it was fucking intense. So, and of course I'm just totally out of it. So I'm like sitting in this car, and I thought I should take a picture of my car. So I took a picture of my car, which I can show you, but it looked pretty good to me, but, except for the fact that it was totally flat on the ground. The tires went, eh. So, I got into the ambulance. They did a breathalyzer test on me to see if I was, drunk at 12:15 in the afternoon driving on 580. I suppose some people are. Lots of other kinds of tests as well. And I got taken to the ER. I called Michelle. I said, "Hey, I think I just had a seizure, or maybe fainted. I don't know." She said, "Where are you?" And I realized I had no idea where I was. So I asked the EMT where I was, and apparently I was in Livermore. And they took me to a hospital in Pleasanton. And now I've started my fever and chills thing. This is another new phenomenon that's been happening about once a month, where I start violently shaking. I start getting really cold, and then I start violently shaking, and I have to go to bed, and I have to take Tylenol, and my fevers tend to go up to like 102.7 to 103.5. So that was starting to happen in the back of the ambulance, and my pain was still there, by the way. All that effort to get rid of that pain crashed my car, and the pain's still there. So anyway, fuck that idea. Yeah, so then the next day, so we went to spend the night at some friend's house in the East Bay so that we didn't have to drive so far, because I have to go now deal with all this stuff, right? I have no injuries. I'm extremely tired, and spent a lot of time in the emergency room. Oh, and this one guy who did the EKG on me, of course, they put all that sticky stuff on you in the, what's the word? ambulance. Thanks. Thank you for your help. And this guy was like, because I'm shaking now so hard, and I've been shaking for an hour. And he's annoyed with me because I can't stop shaking, so he can't get his EKG reading. And while he's sticking, and by the way, they stick these things like airwear, like under, they want to lift up my breastals and go underneath there, because you can now, because in my later years, lifting up your boob and putting the little sticky thing under there. There's already one there, but because I'm wiggling so hard, he has to put on these new ones. So he's annoyed with me because I'm, in shock and having a total crisis. Sorry. And his name was Mike. I said, "Hi, Mike. I having a bad day?" And he said, "No, it's all right. Whatever. It's just really busy right now." Like, really annoyed. And I of course think this is funny that you're annoyed with me as a patient in an emergency room, having just totaled my car. And so he's putting these things on my body, and he says, I hear him mutter, "God damn it," under his breath. And I couldn't resist. I had to say, "Sorry?" And he said, "Oh, sorry, I'm just listening to this podcast, and it's about, like, controlling your emotions." And I'm like, "How's it working?" And he doesn't laugh. I'm laughing inside because that's what I do. And he was super pesky and took my reading, took everything off, literally just walked away from me. And so that whole experience. So went to stay with our friends overnight, had to get up in the morning and deal with my car, because now by the time I'm released from the emergency room, it's 5:30 p.m. and the police station's closed, and I can't get my car from wherever it is. And I find out that it's, of course, been towed somewhere. I can't get my car because I have to go to the police station to get a release of property form. And it's possible that they're impounding my car because it could be a crime scene or something. And so now, of course, I'm whipping up all kinds of scenarios in my head, and I'm very, very good at that. I had some Lulus going, including that, like, I was going to be sent to jail for passing out, and putting other people's lives at risk. So I went the next morning to the police station. It took forever for her to get me the paperwork. Went to the tow lot, and the guy with 3 teeth said to me, "Oh, are you the one that was in the BMW?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Do you know what happened?" And I thought I was in somebody else's life. And I said, "Actually, I have no idea what happened, other than the fact that I fainted and I ended up in a median, and that's it." He said, "You pulled off at one of the busiest intersections in Livermore. You went across 4 lanes, very, very busy lanes of traffic. You hit a high curb that was probably, he said something like, I guess he was doing the hand thing, and it looked to me like maybe it was, a foot or 14, 15 inches, a high curb." And he said, "And then you went flying through the air, and you landed right in this spot, and I think your car saved you, because the safety features on that car make it shut down, and it drops the axle so that you can't possibly move any further. If you had gone further, first of all, you didn't hit anybody in all those 4 lanes. If you had gone further than where your car landed, you would have gone across another lane of traffic of people getting onto the freeway. So they would be going pretty fast right there. And on the other side of that lane, is a embankment that he said drops 65 to 70 feet. So somehow you got through all that without getting hurt. And he seemed pretty good, like very good at describing this, having only 3 teeth. I don't know if I was missing more teeth, that maybe I'd whistle a little bit or something when I was talking, but he didn't whistle at all. He seemed very with it. And I asked if I could go see my car. So I pulled open the door, and of course it's like gorgeous interior. It's all perfect in there, but the axles are toast. He said, this car's kind of done for. Here we are now, today, as of today. It happened 2 weeks ago, and I still don't know. I don't know if my car is a total loss. I'm guessing it is. And I'm also not allowed to drive for 3 months because, it's ideal to stay conscious when you're operating heavy machinery. So, all my doctors, of course, know, and I have to have 1,000 more appointments. I already filed it, but I had a stack of referrals just from the last maybe 8 weeks or so on the dining room table where we keep the mail. And I have to go in for tests up the wazoo, unbelievable number of authorizations with my insurance company. And there's literally just stacks and stacks of paper. So I think I'm responsible for at least one glorious tree somewhere in the world that has suffered because of insurance. Having to print everything out, even though it's really just sitting right in my phone in an app. Anyway, I am incredibly lucky. I'm also incredibly grateful and mildly terrified. Although since it's been 2 weeks, I'm kind of coming down a little bit from it, but for the first couple of days, I would just spontaneously start crying, and not just sort of like, dumb crying, like ugly crying, like, bad faces crying, stuff like that. And remember when I clear my throat and you get to see the visual of like going into the cavern, I would cry deep into the cavern during that time. I thought about, doing a video during one of those times, but then I didn't want to. So sorry. I will totally ugly cry for you sometime, but it's not, it just wasn't happening then. It was a little bit too traumatic. Anyway, so that's my story. I hope you enjoyed it. No driving for 3 months. So if you want to come over, you can just throw me into the back of your car and you can say, "Want to go for a walk?" And then I might even wag. I'm not sure what I'll do. Just come over and you can put me wherever you want in the car, and my hair might still look like this. It's hard to say.